Hi guys, I'm Shmi and we're out at the Nurburgring 24 Hours with Bugatti, where we're taking a look here at the Veyron Super Sport WRE. And I'm joined now by Andy Wallace, official Bugatti driver, who's going to tell us a little bit about the handling and top speed modes of the Veyron. This is something I've been wanting to know about. So tell us, what happens? How does the handling mode work?
Right, when you jump into your car and you start up and drive off, you're in the mode that it's in now, which is the standard mode. That's 115mm ride height, front and rear, and the rear wing either in the flush position, or if the engine bay's above 60 degrees like it is now, 6 degrees of wing.
Okay, let's come around and have a quick look at that actually. So because we've been running already, the wing sits up slightly.
That's it. Then, whilst you're driving along, when you exceed 180 kilometers an hour, you automatically go into what we call handling mode. At this point, the wing is deployed to, as this is a Super Sport, 18 degrees. And then the front ride height goes from 115mm down to 80, and the rear ride height goes down to 95.
Okay.
So lower ride height, a little bit more rake, more wing, and that's your handling mode. And that's the maximum downforce mode, maximum stability mode, and that will take you up to, I think, around 377, I believe.
Okay.
375.
Can we demo that?
Absolutely.
Button to the right of the gear stick.
Wing deploy.
The wing deploys first. Then we can watch the front suspension going down and the rear. And now it's just sat a little bit more planted, a little bit more aggressive.
That's it. I mean, on top of that, you're also lowering the centre of gravity too by lowering the car.
Okay, yes. And you have a handling notice in the central dial. And then if you want to go a degree more,
so
top speed key.
Then if you want to go really, really fast, what you do, you have to stop the car first.
Oh, okay.
Place this speed key, as we call it, into a key slot down the side. You click the key, and at this point, the ride heights, which are already dropped, go down even further to 65 on the front, 70 on the rear. The wing goes down to only 3 degrees, so that's taken downforce away from the rear. Then we have to take away downforce from the front. So
yes,
at this
counter
point,
the rear.
we take away the shape of the front diffuser with some hydraulic flaps which come down and make the diffuser flat instead of curved. That takes away some front. We also close off the front brake ducts.
Right, okay.
Drag. So now this puts the car into its lowest possible drag mode. And then if you've got a piece of road long enough, or you perhaps own half a country, you can go 431.
As was done a few years ago with this very car.
Absolutely was. My good friend Pierre will be breath now.
Well, it looks pretty cool. And there's the wing has the air brake side of it as well.
Yes, and then the air brake is 55 degrees.
So it goes up to 55 degrees and shoots up to that angle when you're braking.
And these are the same sort of technology as an aircraft. And
right.
So you were asking earlier about that performance it does when it's going back down into the the cooling mode. So when it sees the engine bay has dropped back down to 40 degrees plus another 300 seconds at that temperature, the wing does its very interesting thing where it goes back down to its park position. Now the reason it does that is really to warn you to get your fingers out, because there's no pinch protection for your fingers. And the reason for that is such high air pressure acting on this wing, you don't want anything that could stop the wing working. So it'll do its thing no matter how much pressure is on it, and it reacts.
Yeah, well, it becomes partly responsible for the braking effort.
That's right, and also the aero centre of pressure. So not only when the wing goes up, not only does it add from high-speed mode to braking, is almost double the drag, it also brings the aero centre of pressure rearward. So it steadies the rear of the car. So if you ever were in a situation where the car got a little bit floaty, if you touch the brake, immediately the stability comes back.
The one other thing while we're standing here, I wanted to bring back up what you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I like little snippets, but this very small, very tidy valve cap, which is made of aluminium, weighs a gram or so. At top speed, with the gravity forces as the wheels going around, this actually weighs the equivalent of 7.5 kilos. So it gives you some idea of the stresses and strains on the wheels and the tyres at those speeds, which is why everything has to be engineered to such a high degree.
If that little part goes up to that weight, you just got to think sort of what the tyre and the edge of the with the wheel and everything, and the forces they have to handle as well.
That's right. The other thing we discovered when developing the car was that the standard Schroeder valve, the spring isn't sufficient to keep it closed at that speed.
Yeah.
So as you reach close to top speed, the air starts to come out of the tyre. So we had to re-engineer that. The other thing too is the tyre pressure sensor. Originally we were using the Porsche and Audi parts inside the wheel, and at the immense speed that this car can go, of course, those pieces were breaking free inside the wheel.
Yeah.
So that whole had to be re-engineered to be made lighter and stronger.
It's phenomenal to see the amount of detail that goes into making this.
And it's such a well-engineered car, and it has to be. It has to be 100% safe and do what it says on the tin.
And on top of that, it looks really cool, especially in the finish with the WRE, the full carbon body and the orange contrast.
With the sun as well.
Yes.
It's incredible. You almost feel like it looks like a swimming pool you can put your hand in. It's incredible.
Come around and take a look at the front again.
Now, of course, these are poor cars been used and abused, and
yes,
now done 51,000 kilometres.
51,000?
Yeah, none of them have been gentle.
No, they're all runway runs and extremes. Right, well, fantastic. I've wanted to know the sort of specifics of the handling and top speed mode, so thank you very much for that. And also, guys, we'll be going out shooting some more videos with Andy at the wheel, going for some drives as well. So make sure you check out all the videos. Thank you very much, and catch up with you soon. Cheers! Allows the rear of the panel to be lifted up and then the front pulled out. There are some pins on the front.